Welcome students. So let's continue with the unit number 7, which is included in your term 1 topics for chemistry. Okay. So as you know that your pre-midterm examinations has been over and now we are continuing our classes further. So here you know that for the term 1 we have completed our chapter number 1, that is solid state, our chapter number 2, that is solution, and the organic chemistry part, that is haloalkanes and haloarenes. Now let's move to the next chapter, that is the p block elements. Okay, the p block element, and start this chapter. So for starting the p block element, you have studied about group number 13 and group number 14, which is also the part of your p block element. Okay, the group number 13 and group number 14, group 13 and group 14 in class 11th only. Okay, it has been completed, your course has been completed for group 13 and 14 in class 11th only. Now moving further, and in this particular class 12th, we are going to start with group number group number 15 elements. Group number 15 elements, we will study about the chemistry of the group number 15 elements, which are included in your p block elements. So for particularly, let me discuss with you what are p block elements. Okay, so the p block elements are the elements whose valence electron are filled in the, okay, the elements whose valence electrons are filled in the p subshell. P subshell are p block elements. They are the p block elements. And if we take the example for your periodic table, so your periodic table looks like something like this. Two groups, first group and second group here. Then one declination comes here, and after that one more incline means expressed out part is there. So this part, the first two groups are known as S block elements. The second group is known as your D block elements. Okay, these are termed as D block element, and this is your P block element. Okay, so these are the P block elements. Okay, so the P block elements are having the electrons filled in the last electrons to be filled in your P shell. Okay, P subshell. So you can represent it like this: P1 to 6. This is the general electronic configuration for your p block element. It lasts the last shell. Okay, सबसे आखिरी shell जो रहेगा, the last shell here, it will be np 1 to 6 electrons will be present outside. If 6 electrons are there, it means it is fully filled, and if one electron is there, then it can be only one electron is included in your p shell. Okay, now moving further, here in the p block element, we are going to start with your group 15 element. Okay, group 15 element. So in the periodic table, if I am going to see, this was the first group in the element, and the first group in your p block is the 13th group. Then comes the 14th group, the second group, and the third group in your p block is the 15th group element. Okay, so the 15th group element, for remembering purpose only, okay, I am telling you for the remembering purpose only. If you want to remember this 13th group element, 14th group element also, I will tell you. The 13th group elements are आलू, बैगन, गाजर, इन, थैला, एल्यूमिनियम, बोरॉन, गैलियम, इंडियम, थैलियम. Okay, आलू, बैगन, गाजर, इन, थैला. Next is your 14th group elements. So the 14th group elements are carbon, silicon, germanium, tin, lead. Okay, carbon, silicon, germanium, and tin, lead. कहे शिवजी सुनो प्रभु. Okay, कहे शिवजी सुनो प्रभु. You can remember it like this. Next, the mnemonics for your 15th group element. For the 15th group element, the mnemonic is नहीं पसंद ऐसे सब भाई. Okay, नहीं पसंद ऐसे सब भाई. So here the mnemonic is nitrogen. नहीं से nitrogen. Okay, from नहीं nitrogen, from पसंद phosphorus, from ऐसे as arsenic, from sub sab sb, that is your antimony, and from bhai, that is bi, it is your bismuth. Okay, so these are your 15th group element: nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony, bismuth. Okay, so let's talk about this 15th group element, and let's discuss the physical and chemical properties of your 15th group elements, which are nitrogen, whose atomic number is 7, then phosphorus, whose atomic number is 7 plus 18. Your value will become, sorry, 7 plus 8, that is 15. Okay, magic number here is plus 8. Then after phosphorus, arsenic, arsenic. So 15 plus 18, it will be 33. 15 plus 18, it will be 33. Then antimony, antimony, the value will become again plus 18 will be there here. So it will be 151, and last will be here your bismuth. So for bismuth, the magic number will be plus 32. So here it will be 3 plus 83. Okay, so this is the atomic number for your elements, that is nitrogen 7, phosphorus 15, arsenic 33, antimony 51, bismuth 83. Now, this particular elements, these 5 elements, phosphorus, nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony, and bismuth, this group is regarded as the nitrogen family. Okay, the head of the family here is nitrogen, and they are termed as nitrogen family. Group number 15 elements are termed as nitrogen family. The name of this group is nitrogen family. Collectively, these group 15 elements are also known as nicogens. Okay, they are termed as nicogens. Okay, they are termed as nicogens, and the compounds which are formed by nicogens. Okay, the compounds which are formed by nicogens, the compounds are termed as, these compounds are termed as nicosides. Nicosides. Okay, they are termed as sorry, niconides, not nicosides. They are niconides. P-N-I-C-O-N-I-D-E-S. Niconides. Okay, niconides. This word nicogens is taken from your Greek word. Okay, it is taken from a Greek word. That is, the Greek word is nicomix. Okay, nicomix, which means suffocation. Suffocation. Okay, so hence the compounds or the nitrogen family which are present here, they all cause suffocation. Therefore, they are termed as nicogens, or and the compounds which are formed by them are known as niconides. Okay, so let's first talk about the occurrence of the 15th group elements. Okay, let's first talk about the occurrence of the 15th group elements. So the 15 group elements except phosphorus do not occur very abundantly in the nature. Okay, except phosphorus except phosphorus, the group 15 elements, the group 15 elements do not occur very abundantly, do not occur very abundantly, abundantly in nature, abundantly in nature. Okay, molecular nitrogen. Okay, but we can see molecular nitrogen. Okay, molecular nitrogen, that is N2. Okay, molecular nitrogen, that is N2. It is present. It is present about 78%. Okay, 78% of atmosphere. Okay, of Earth's atmosphere. It is 78% of the Earth's atmosphere. So it is not very abundant on the Earth crust, but in the solid form, or we can say that, and it is not abundant in the Earth's crust. Okay, it is not abundant in the Earth's crust. Okay, it is not abundant in your Earth's crust. Now, the 33rd most abundant. Okay, nitrogen is the 33rd most abundant element by weight on the Earth crust. Okay, nitrogen. It is the 33rd most abundant element in mass on Earth's crust. Okay. Now, since nitrates are very soluble in water, so they are not widespread in the Earth's crust. First thing, the nitrates, which are one of the compounds for your, nitrogen. Okay, so they are soluble in water. So these are not widespread in the Earth's crust. The only major nitrate minerals are, okay. So nitrates are soluble in water. That is, nitrate means NO3 minus 1. Okay, these are not very soluble in water. These are very soluble in water. Therefore, what happens? Therefore, they are not abundant. They are not abundant in the Earth's crust. In the Earth's crust. Okay, they are not abundant in the Earth's crust. And some of the minerals. Okay, some of the major minerals of nitrogens or nitrites, major minerals of nitrogen and nitrites are NaNO3, sodium nitrate, that is termed as soda nitrate, okay, soda nitrate, okay, soda nitrate, also termed as Chile saltpetre, Chile saltpetre. Okay, this is one of the major mineral of nitrite. Next, potassium nitrate, KNO3, potassium nitrate. It is termed as nitrate, Indian saltpetre, Indian saltpetre. Okay, the major deposit of saltpetre occurs in India. Okay, the KNO3 is majorly found in India only. Nitrogen is also an important constituent of protein. Okay, you know that the proteins, amino acids, and nucleic acids, which are the most important part of a living organism. They all are formed from nitrogen only. Okay, the building block there is the nitrogen element only. Okay, so hence the continuous interchange of nitrogen in the atmosphere and the biosphere, okay, between the biosphere and the atmosphere, this particular change of nitrogen from nitrogenous molecular nitrogen to proteins, amino acids and nucleic acid, which is considered to be the biological part of the or the part of the biosphere here, then this particular contribution of nitrogen here is termed as nitrogen cycle. Okay, we call it nitrogen cycle. In the previous classes you have studied about the nitrogen cycle. Now let's talk about the next element. This was about for your nitrogen. Next element, the second element of the group, that is phosphorus. Phosphorus. So phosphorus, it is the 11th element in order of the abundance. Okay, the phosphorus in the order of abundance will be 11th element in mass of Earth's crust. Okay, it is 11th element in the abundance in the Earth's crust. It is very reactive element. Phosphorus is one of the reactive element. You know that the phosphorus has been kept in the highest position for your reactivity series. Okay, due to its reactive nature only, and therefore it does not occur in free state. You cannot found phosphorus in its free state. All the known minerals of phosphorus are phosphates. Okay, and they all are orthophosphates. Okay, orthophosphates. And if a major amount of phosphorus occurs in a single mineral, then a single mineral family, then that is known as apatite. Okay, then that type of particular mineral is termed as apatite, which has general formula, and the apatite has the general formula of 3Ca3 PO4 twice CaX2, or it can be the general formula can be Ca9 PO46 CaX2. Okay, these are the apatites. Okay, where X can be chlorine, fluorine, chlorine, or hydroxide. Okay, they can be chlorine, fluorine, or hydroxide there. So these are some of the important minerals for your phosphorus. Moving further, let's see some common minerals of phosphorus. Okay, common minerals of phosphorus. Phosphorus. Common minerals of phosphorus. So what are the common minerals of phosphorus? First, phosphorite, one of the common mineral of phosphorus. Ca3 PO4 twice. Okay, this is phosphorite. Next, fluoroapatite. Ca5 PO4 thrice F, or 3Ca3 PO4 twice dot CaF2. Okay. Third, chloroapatite. Chloroapatite. Ca5 PO4 thrice Cl, or 3Ca3 PO4 twice CaCl2. Fourth, hydroxyapatite. Hydroxyapatite. Here the formula will change. Ca5PO4 thrice OH. Okay, in the place of halogens here OH will be there. So here the formula will be Ca3PO4 twice dot CaOH twice. CaOH twice. Okay. So these are your different minerals for phosphorus. Large deposit of phosphorus are seen. Okay. The large deposit of phosphorus can be found out where? In the North Africa. Okay. In the North Africa and North America. In North Africa and in North America, very large amount of phosphorus deposits are found. In India, the phosphate rocks, okay, the phosphate rocks in India is found in Rajasthan. Okay, the major mines for phosphate rocks are found in Rajasthan. Majorly, it is found in Rajasthan. Phosphorus is also an important and essential part of the life. As the structural material in both animals and plants, it is present in the bones as a living cell. Okay, phosphorus, if considered for your biological life, then it is one of the important part of our biological life because in both animals and plants, it is one of the structural material. Okay, it is one of the part and one of the major constituent as a structural material. It provides the structure to the bones. Okay, it provides the structure to the bones also to the plants. It provides the structure there and it is present as a living cell. About 60% bones and teeth are the 60% bone and teeth. Okay, the major component of our bone and teeth is it is Ca3PO4 Ca3PO4 twice. Okay, or Ca3PO4 twice dot CAF. Okay, means fluoroapatite is one of the major part of the bones and teeth. It is also occur in the nucleic acid. Okay, it is also a major part of the nucleic acid, that is DNA and RNA. It is present in DNA and RNA also, which controls the heredity effect in human beings. You know that thing, that for heredity it is very important. Phosphorus is also found in adenosine triphosphate, that is ATP. Adenosine triphosphate. Okay, adenosine triphosphate, and also in the ADP, which are the power generators in our body. Adenosine diphosphates. Okay, so both these ATP and ADP are the power generators or the production. Okay, the energy which is produced in our cell, it is produced in the form of ATP or ADP only. Okay, so also the major source for our humans for phosphorus is milk. Okay, is milk and egg. Okay, it is also present in very good amount in milks and eggs also. The next element, that is arsenic, antimony and bismuth, they are not very abundant. Okay, the arsenic, antimony and bismuth, they are very scarce element. Okay, they are very scarce element. They are not that much abundant element, and their important source are sulfide. Okay, they are having sulfide ores. So for arsenic, the sulfide ores are FeASS. Okay, that is stibnite. It is stibnite. Okay, for antimony Sb2S3. Okay, and sorry, this is stibnite. Sorry, the name here stibnite is Sb2S3, and FeASS is arsenopyrite. Okay, this is arsenopyrite. Arsenopyrite. This is stibnite, and the last is bismuth glance. That is Bi2S3 bismuth glance. These are some of the important ores of bismuth, antimony, and arsenic. They are obtained by metallurgical process of roasting of sulfide iron ores. Okay, sulfide ores, when it is been roasted, then pure arsenic, pure antimony, or pure bismuth has been found out there. Okay, but they are very scarce element in the earth as compared to that of your 15th group element, that is nitrogen and phosphorus. Okay, now let's start the general characteristics. Okay, let's move to the general characteristics of group 15 elements. General characteristics of group 15 elements. So first, electronic configuration. Let's talk about the electronic configuration. What is the general electronic configuration for the group 15 elements? Okay, so here the electronic configuration, the general electronic configuration is NH2 NP3. Okay, it is the general electronic configuration. So for nitrogen, you can see the electronic configuration for 7. It will become 1s2, 2s2, 2p3. For phosphorus, it will be neon, that is 10. Okay, neon 10, 3s2, 3p3. For arsenic, 33, argon, that is 18, 3d10. Okay, 3d10, 4s2, 4p3. Antimony, Sb, 51, krypton, 36, 4d10, 5s2, 5p3. And the last is bismuth, that is 83, xenon. Okay, xenon, 54, xenon 54, 4f14, 5d10, 6s2, 6p3. Okay, this will be the general electronic configuration for your group 15 element, that is NH2 NP3, and these are the electronic configuration for all the 5 elements which are present in this group. Next, the atomic and physical properties. Atomic and physical properties of the 15 group elements. Okay, so the atomic and physical properties of the 15 group elements, we can make a table here. Nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony, bismuth. The first thing which I am going to write out here is the atomic number. So here the atomic number is 7, 15, 33, 51, 83. Next, after atomic number, the next thing is the atomic radius. Okay, atomic radius. Okay, so here it will be and at this atomic radius is for your covalent bond. Okay, covalent bond. Okay, and it is in picometer. It is in picometer. So the values are 70, 110, that is 110 for phosphorus, 121 for arsenic, 141 for antimony, and 148 for bismuth. Okay, ionic radii. Okay, ionic radius. For nitrogen, it is 171, 212, 171, 212. For phosphorus, 222. For arsenic, For antimony it is very smaller, 76, and for bismuth it is smaller than your nitrogen. Okay, it is 103 only. Next, ionization enthalpy. The ionization enthalpy for nitrogen, okay, for C, three ionization enthalpies will be here because three valence electrons are present here. Okay, so three different ionization enthalpies will be there. So first ionization enthalpy for nitrogen is 1402 kilojoule. Okay, kilojoule per mole, kj per mole. It is expressed in kilojoule per mole. So it is 1402 kilojoule per mole. 2856 kilojoule per mole, 4577 kilojoule per mole. 1012 for phosphorus, first ionization enthalpy, 1903 second ionization enthalpy, and 2910 third ionization enthalpy. For arsenic it is 947 first, 1798 second, and 2736 third. 1595 for sorry 18834 first ionization enthalpy for your antimony, 834, 1595, 2443. For bismuth it is very much lower, that is 703, 1610, that is 1610, but second ionization enthalpy is more as compared to that of your antimony, and last, that is third ionization enthalpy, is also higher than that of the antimony. Okay. Next is the electronegativity. Electronegativity. So the electronegativity for nitrogen it is 3.0, 2.1, 2.0, 1.9 and 1.9. Antimony and bismuth are very much lower electronegative, while as comparison to that of nitrogen, nitrogen is the most electronegative element in this group. Okay, and it is been taken in electronegative. Okay, next melting point in Kelvin. Melting point which is taken in Kelvin. So for nitrogen the melting point is 63 Kelvin. For phosphorus it is 317.1 Kelvin. For arsenic it is 1089 Kelvin. Okay. For antimony this is 904 Kelvin. Okay, 904 Kelvin. And for bismuth it is 544.4 Kelvin. 544.4 Kelvin. Last is your boiling point. Okay, last is your boiling point. So boiling point is also taken in Kelvin. So the boiling point value is 70 to 77.2, and it is for molecular. Okay, it is for your molecular N2. This is for N2. This is for white phosphorus. White phosphorus. This is for gray alpha form. Okay, this is for your gray alpha form. Okay, gray alpha form arsenic. Okay, so here the values will be 77.2, 553.5 Kelvin, 888 Kelvin, the boiling point. Okay, 888 Kelvin, 1860 Kelvin for antimony, and 1837 Kelvin for your bismuth. So here you can see that they are having very much higher boiling point, that is antimony and bismuth, while the nitrogen is having very lower because it is gas, while the phosphorus, which is also a solid, arsenic is also a solid, it is having much larger boiling point than that of the nitrogen. Okay, so these were some of the important atomic and physical properties of group 15 elements. In the next class, we will talk about these different properties, and we will discuss about what are the different kinds of changes we will going to see in this atomic properties, atomic and molecular properties of the different elements for your group 15 elements. So for today's class, we are ending our class here only, and we will move further in the next class. Thank you for watching this class. Thank you.